speaker is, she actually invested quite a bit of money to help put this on. She was my only partner on this event, and she speaks to my personal production team every week. And every week in Roseville, she's our team loan officer. She's going to give you, anybody ever lost a transaction because the lender couldn't do the loan? Raise your hand. Come on, throw them quick all over the room. And that costs your family $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000. One deal that doesn't go through. Today she's going to teach you about, I think the number was 21 ways to save your transaction. 21 ways to save. The best lenders I know are the lenders I've met because the transaction died. They're like, give it to me. Give it to me. Let me see what I can do. And like, and they blow life in it and it closes. I'm like, oh, my new lender, or at least a lender I will consider using. But here's the deal. We don't want to be users. Is that a fair thing? Yeah. Yeah. And so I'm going to encourage you that the breakfast, the lunch, the dinner you're going to have today, the view, all this is made in part by our partners, people who partner with us. So please, if you know somebody's going to refinance, I go, well, there's no listing fee. They're not going to join EHP. They're not going to buy a home. And you need to really grab them and give them to your lender. And then if everybody here would give one loan to Alicia, do you think she'd like that?
Oh, yeah.
One refinance. It doesn't even have to be a purchase. Now, she would rather do a purchase money loan for you. There's a reason she does loans for me and for my personal team. She's one of the best lenders in Sacramento. She's a 1% producer, like top 1%. They get stuff done that can't get done. For anyone old here, it's like Smokey and the Bandit. We're going to do what they say can't be done, okay? Trust me, lenders like it can't be done. And if you have a lender who says it can't get done, find a new lender. So she's going to blow your mind with some mindset and prospecting information to start with. And she's going to give you, I think, 21 ways to save your deals. Listen close, because we don't want to say goodbye to $30,000 commission or 20, right? So help me welcome to the stage, Alicia Stearman, everybody.
Thank you guys so much for having me. First thing is first, it's extremely important for me to help you guys understand what your top 2 jobs are. Number 1, please write this down. Your job is to inject others with excitement, positivity, and joy. And the reason I choose those 3 things is they are what people strive to be around. It's what makes them feel good. It's what will make you the piper. And that's what we all want, right? We all want to go on this journey. We want a whole stream of people following us, wanting to be just like us. You want your energy to be infectious. Where people, it's almost like a drug. So when I say inject, I'm not kidding. You want them to feel like you're a hero and they need you, right? So to be infectious, in the morning, you might have been depressed, you might have fought with your spouse, you might have fought with your kids, you might have had a terrible morning. You need to learn to compartmentalize that. Get rid of it, that's not who you are now. Now you're your own superhero, right? Hence my outfit. Now I did happen to have this in my closet because I trick ride in the rodeo. So this is part of my normal attire. So I thought I'd bring it to you today because he said, bring the fire. I know just what to wear. So one thing that's very, very important to me is number 1, our job, infect others with energy, right? Number 2, we manage fear for a living. That's what we do. 100%. If somebody has a problem, and we can act like it's no big deal. What do you mean? Been through this a million times. I've got 5 solutions already in my back pocket to solve that problem, right? They're not going to be afraid anymore. Because when people are afraid, they cancel escrows. They make bad decisions, right? So if we can manage that fear and keep them in forward motion, in positive motion, I'm going to get you to the finish line, that is when we remain in control. So our job is to control others because we know what's better for them because they're not in their right mind when they're making decisions. When we do real estate, are our clients wrecks or what? Yes. The most brilliant people make the most terrible decisions because they're emotional. So it's our job to guide them, instruct them, motivate them to get them to the destination we know they really want, because why did they write the offer in the first place? They want the house, right? So I help, now I am cheating, guys, and I don't know about all of you, but my dad trains athletes for a living. So from a very, very young age, like 5, 6 years old, he started teaching me about visualizing the destination I want to reach. Now that goes for you guys on a daily basis. I get so passionate about my dreams. My dream is to build a school for kids to come and learn gymnastics on horseback. And I have 60 acres in Lincoln, and God has really injected me with a passion to build this thing. In the mornings, I work out every single day at 4:30, I literally cry like a baby, visualizing my dream. And the little steps God keeps giving me, the little nuggets showing me I'm on the right path. I just officially got my business license last week. So the dream is coming into fruition. But you need to be that passionate that it brings tears to your eyes. And the truth is, when I feel in my heart I was meant to be on this earth to change lives, that's what every single one of you has the opportunity to do with every single escrow. You have a chance to change somebody's life for the better. Do you know how powerful that is? So your choice is, do I actually change them? Does the short interaction I have with them change who they are for the better? Or are they just a deal and I'm moving on to the next one because that one's over? No. Change their life. Help them be better with their finances, right? Help them be better with tax deductions. Introduce them to the right partners that you have that have changed your life. So we have a chance to impact them. So again, number one, inject them with energy. Now I just want to use our best example in the room, Mr. Brent Gove. When everybody interacts with him, do you not want more? That's the best example, guys. And that's why we all follow him, because he injects his energy and it leaves a mark in us that inspires us to be like him. So just an easy tactic that any of you guys can use and replicate is using the word excitement. When I prospect and when I call others, and I don't care if I'm in Starbucks ordering my drink, and some people will say, hey, anytime anyone mentions real estate, I get excited. Oh, they don't need to mention it with me. I'm in Starbucks and I'm like, how's your day going? I'm gonna have a great day. I can't wait to save people money today. The real estate market is on fire. I am injecting them with this energy. I am making them want to buy a house when they weren't even thinking about it. But I'm bringing it up. I'm not waiting for them to bring it up. What are you talking about? Every single person that I interact with, right? So a lot of times we go, well, where do we get the leads from? Well, what do we do? We're so confused, right? Let me just make this really simple. You're all realtors. You all have clients, or you're working on it. You can go to every single business in a strip mall, and you can say, hey, business owner, I'm super excited. I'm a local realtor. A lot of my clients are coming from out of the area. I want to refer them to your business. Could I have your business card and maybe a coupon that you're doing right now so that I can offer it to my clients? I currently have a database of 400, 600, 8,000, whatever it is, guys. Could you not bring value to that business owner? And why not just add their business card to your database? That person's influential. They probably have 25 to 50 people that they influence. You don't have a database. You could drop me in another state. I'll do 100 loans that year without even thinking. Because I'm going to go inject everybody with my energy, and they're not going to be able to help but want to be around me. Does that make sense? But I am performing. Let's be clear. Life is a performance. Sales is a performance. Now, one thing I want to say is when we get up in the morning and we're getting dressed, are we thinking about how our outfits is going to impact others? Now, I have to say I'm probably one of the most insecure, confident people you'll ever meet. So for me, when my mentors, this is like, I don't know, 15 years ago. I've been in coaching for 18 years. I pay $2,500 a month. I'm a lifer. I need the accountability. But when they said, I want you to go visit 15 builders this week, I'm like, oh my God, they're not going to like me. I brought a miniature horse. And I visited 9 builders, and I kept doing that. And the reason I brought a miniature horse, they don't want to talk about me. They want to talk about my horse. It's so easy to make friends with a little horse. I brought goats, I brought dogs, and the truth is, it's because I was so nervous that I knew that it would be, the attention would be off of me. Does that make sense? The other thing that I know, guys, is you want to represent a warm and fuzzy. There's nothing warm and fuzzy, or more warm and fuzzy than an animal. So it was very easy. Now you guys can take a cat, put her on a leash, take a rabbit. I don't really care what you do. But if you're nervous, an animal does bring that energy. So because of that little miniature horse, I now own a therapy ranch. I take miniature horses to schools, to nursing homes, to different events. But it's because I learned that they bring so much joy to others. That was such an easy way to inject happiness and joy just by walking in the door. Very, very simple way to do it. So it's okay to cheat. Now, dressing up in an outfit, did this not make you guys smile? So if it's this simple, why are you not doing it? It's just a piece of clothing. If it's that simple. Now, this outfit represents what? Discipline. It takes some discipline to be able to wear something like this, right? Lots of working out. But also confidence. Does it represent confidence? Yeah. So if you're going to go milk route builders, which by the way, whoever's not doing that, you're making a huge mistake. Those are whales, people. A whale is somebody who can give you 12 or more deals in a year. So does it not take just as much energy to chase one customer as it does to chase a whale who can give you 12 deals a year? Yes. Same energy. So why are we chasing a customer? Why aren't we chasing the head of Kaiser, the head of MIT? Do not all of the Kaiser nursing graduates walk out with a job? Big job, lots of money, big houses. All of them need a realtor. So why are we not talking to the schools? Hey, do you have a program for those that graduate? Let's talk to 50 people at one time, not just the one client, right? So if you're not chasing whales and you're not trying to make your business amplified at a much bigger level, broaden your mindset. Think of chasing something bigger. Think of getting HP, right? Or big companies. So I just encourage you to not think as small as just the one customer. Now, one customers are great, but so are the business owners and so are large groups. And so I tend to go after the whales. So every builder, guys, because I do love builder, every single client, now almost every single client nowadays, they got a home to sell, or if they can't quite afford that $900,000 home, if that builder agent gave it to you, darn it, they can't buy here, but here you go, they probably fit about $875. Do you guys all want that client? Yes. Nobody's raising their hand. Yes. What's wrong with you guys? You want that client. You want the bigger, better clients who are qualified, and they're already at that point pre-qualified, and your commission checks are bigger. But a lot of us, when we're newer, we get nervous. We focus on our first-time home buyers because we don't have all the answers. And then the problem is you spend 80% of your time on 20% of your closings. Has anybody fell in that pattern? Where they're working it, and you're like, why am I not getting a check? Because we're doing it wrong. We've got to build our confidence and go after the bigger deals, because again, if you're already used to getting the rejection, you might as well go after the 10, get rejected by 7, get 2 maybes, and get the 1 yes, and it's $1 million deal. I prefer to go that route. So it's really important to me, again, 1, to help you understand that just dressing up brings energy, but 2, say excitement. Exciting, this is so exciting. Aren't you excited? Isn't this program so exciting? So I used to play a game when I would cold call, because I learned at 16 years old selling timeshare. Timeshare and home siding. Everybody wants home siding, right? So it was a great battlefield for me to learn how to make a sale when I'm selling something that nobody wants. And literally at the start of a conversation, if I could tally saying excitement up to 8 times, the minute they say, oh my God, I'm so excited, I won. Now, because it's infectious, just using that word, I guarantee you that person is going to feel your energy. You're going to get them in a good mood. And I've literally had people not really know what just happened, but all I know is they go, oh my God, I'm so excited. I don't know what I'm excited about, but I'm really excited. Perfect. That's where I want you, right? And that's what you want to make people feel. And you absolutely have that opportunity with the energy that you bring. So it's my blessing and my curse that I'm known as the turn down lender. It's great. I appreciate it. I love it when my clients will say, I'll ask the client, like, what did this agent say about me? Well, if anyone can do it, you can. Oh, great. Here we go. So all I can say is if you are going to give me a turn down, please give me a good deal too, just so it's worth it for me. But I wanted to share with you guys, this is just in the last 60 days. Because are we not all in agreement that right now we have to get creative to get a deal closed? Stuff's fallen out of escrow, like I've never seen in 22 years before. And I have about 3,500 closings under my belt, at least 8,000 in my database. And on an average, I can control my leads like a faucet. So on average, 80 to 100, and if I wanted, 250 is no problem for me, but I cannot turn the leads on more than my team can handle. So one thing that's important to me is understanding that the number one hardest thing right now, and help, let me know if I'm coming at it correctly here, is getting the clients over their fear to dip their foot in the water. Convincing them it's not the wrong time. A lot of them have that fear. They're gonna make a bad decision, it's the wrong time. So once you get that fish on the hook, we cannot let them go, you guys. We have to do whatever it takes. Now, the first thing I want to share about managing fear, okay, perfect. The first thing I want to share about managing fear is you need to say things on a weekly basis, like, I will not let you down. We will get through this together no matter what. No matter what is thrown at us, we will get this done together. I guarantee you, we are going to make this happen for you. And then I laugh and I already, hey, they threw this at us, they threw that at us. It don't matter. They can throw whatever they want. We're going to make this happen. So you need to speak with conviction that they can have confidence in you. Now, our biggest fear about doing that, right, is we can't control everything. We can't control everyone. They know that. It's okay, but what you can control, you need them to have the confidence that you are literally going to fight like a pit bull with a bone, and anybody comes near you, keeping that escrow from closing, you're going to bite their arm off. Like, you need that passion in, this is happening. And they need to know that you're over your dead body. Does that make sense? Like, it needs to be that serious to you, and they need to feel that. That's what's going to keep them in forward motion. Hey, he said no matter what, it's going to happen. He said no matter what, we're going to make this happen. It will help them from straying. Now, here's what happened when you don't speak with conviction and when you don't control your escrow. They ask their friends. They ask their neighbors. They ask their family. They ask other realtors. You lost them, guys. You were not heading it off at the pass. So I do something called a Tuesday update. Every single week, you call every single client in escrow. You call every single title company. You call the listing side. You call every single person that is involved in this transaction to update them on status. You call your client. There's two values to the Tuesday update. One is, if it's Monday and they have a question, they're going to remember you're calling them tomorrow. So they might just leave you. I mean, it helps with time management, big time. The second reason is, again, you want to speak with conviction to make them feel everything is okay. They don't need to go anywhere else for comfort or validation, right? Or with their questions. You want them to only come to you. The third reason is you need to tee up an issue, even when there's not one, to ask for a current client referral. If you program in the beginning, hey, I'm going to make you 3 promises. I'm going to close on time with the same money or less than I promised you, and I'm going to treat you like family throughout the process. If I follow through with those 3 promises, can I get 3 referrals from you by closing of somebody who wants to buy or you think they need to buy one day? I don't care if it's 5 years out. Can I get you to commit to that for me as long as I follow through with what I promised you? Can I get you to commit? Do you think they're going to feel obligated? That word, commitment, is binding. So then you come to your Tuesday update. Hey, I'm super excited. It's Alicia. How you doing this week? Are you scared? Oh, that's totally normal. This is what you're going to go through. Super excited, super freaking out. Super excited, super freaking out. It's totally normal. Don't worry. I got you. But I did want to bring something up to you. Man, the appraisal came out. I was a little bit nervous. There's been some weird stuff going on in the market. Great news. It was only $100,000 low, but guess what? It didn't affect your financing one bit. I can get the exact same rate, the exact same terms, and here's the deal, the reality is, in the builder community, these comps just haven't caught up to us yet. Don't worry, I ran comps, here's what I found. You're getting a great deal. That just happened to me on a builder deal. Another option that happened to me recently was the appraisal came in low. Don't you worry about that, I did my homework. Watch what I'm gonna do for you. I got the appraisal thrown out, got the appraisal come in 200,000 higher, fixed my escrow. But when you tee up an issue, you go, oh my God, it was so nerve-wracking. I'm so excited we got through it. Isn't this great news? Now they're high. Yeah, it's great news, I'm super excited. Hey, remember how I brought up to you about the referral? Problem is, the minute you close, I'm out of customer. I need to replace you. I hate to say it that way, but I find that awesome people run with other awesome people. And I had such a great time spending time with you throughout this. I really would love to get to know more people like you. So during this week, you know that thing I mentioned in our presentation, the reticular activator, how you're going to go through an experience, now you have heightened awareness, just like how you buy a red car, you drive off the lot, man, you see that red car everywhere. This week, I'm sure you mentioned to somebody that you were buying a home. Think real clearly. Who else brought up that they might want to buy a home one day? Oh yeah, you're right, my friend at work. Perfect. You've got to drag it out of them. Literally. No, nobody this week. That's okay, you got your cell phone there, don't you? Open up your phone. Who in there doesn't own a home? Any one of them, pick one. All I need is a group text introduction. It's very non-aggressive. Don't worry, I'm not going to try to sell them or anything. Just going to send them a cute little house emoji with some party symbols, right? It's less aggressive, but they're in forward motion now, pulling out their phone. No big deal, I'll wait. I'm serious, right? But then you're going to get the referrals, guys. If you got 3 referrals from every single client you work with, dialed. A lot less prospecting needed, right? So in respect for time, okay, I'm going to go quick. I think I have 5 minutes. If your file's going sideways due to DTI, find a cheaper homeowner's insurance. Sounds simple. If you ask the homeowner's insurance company, they're going to say they can't get it cheaper. They think you can only do a $5,000 deductible, because that's how they've been programmed. Wrong. $25,000. We allow it. That drops that insurance extremely low. Fix your DTI. Now, can the borrower bump it later? Yes. After they close, they get their fees. But for now, gets my deal done. Check the tax rate. Lenders will use 1 1/4. What if it's 1.1? Fix my DTI. Just by pulling tax rates, actual tax rates, I've saved so many deals. Because the loan officer was lazy. They used 1 1/4. Thanks for the deal. Settle a collection. Look, I ain't lazy. My mama taught me how to negotiate debts with creditors. Best thing she ever taught me. I picked the damn phone up, settle it. We lenders have to count 5% for any collection in a monthly payment. Well, what the heck? If it's a $2,000 collection and I settle it for $1,000, done. They always take 50%. You don't need to hire a collection company or a negotiation company. Do it yourself. I pick the phone up, done. Super simple. I refinance their car loan, or I don't do it, but I send them to the bank. Get out of here, go to the bank, refinance it. Takes 48 hours, cuts the car payment in half. They just have to have the car loan for 1 year to be able to do it. Super easy way to fix your debt ratio. I rapid rescore people all the time. I don't care if they're 679, I get them to 700. It takes me 7 days. Why are people not doing this in the middle of the escrow? To save the deal, right? We want to save the deal. I have the client balance transfer their debt to a 0 balance credit card. This payment was $700, this payment's $150. Problem solved, takes 24 hours. Co-signer, you think it's like an easy solution, everybody knows that. What they don't know is that they can tell that co-signer, hey, don't worry, I can remove you after I make the payment for 12 months out of my own personal bank account and your name's not on it, rather than having to refinance. People think you have to refinance. No, you don't. You have to pay the payment on time for 12 months out of your own personal bank account, and then you do have to turn your financials in a year. But you can get rid of that co-signer. Makes them feel much better, and they don't have to be on the title of the home. I switch to ARMs all the time. On the daily, I just left a 3.75, you heard me right, 5.1 FHA ARM. Now 3.75 plus the silly MI of 0.8. My rate's now collectively in the 4s. With conventionals in the 6s, take an FHA, who cares? But you gotta get creative to get these payments down to make these files work. That saved my borrower, switching him to the ARM, $700 a month in the payment. 700, that's $100,000 purchase price. So exciting. So we talked about seller credit to buy down the rate. I want to be crystal clear. $20,000 in a rate buy down allows the client to finance $60,000 more in their loan amount for the exact same payment. Chew on that. So we shouldn't be telling our listings to lower the price. We should be telling them to throw money at the buyers buying the rate down. $20,000 in a rate point buy down. The minute they go, hey lender, this house comes with $20,000 buy down. Literally, I have 2.5 rates available, guys, with enough points. Sellers can give 6% on a jumbo, 6% on a conventional, and 6% on an FHA. Why are we not utilizing that? That 6% might buy your seller $100,000 more in price. Just being serious, right? Pretty amazing. You can avoid counting IRS tax payments that clients have where they're paying the IRS tons of money. Just run a Freddie Mac. Get the taxes waived. None required. So simple. People don't think of that. They let the deal go. So sad. You can buy out your MI, which seems silly, but for clients that are obsessed with it, just do it. $6,000. I mean, that's just it's not always $6,000, but that's a general idea of how much it's going to cost. $6,000 in a mortgage payment, if we built it into the price, is literally $20, but if it saves them $300 in mortgage insurance, it's a no-brainer. Fixes the deal. I gotta make sure I'm not completely out of time. If somebody has student loans and Fannie Mae counts 1% for payments, Freddie Mac only counts 0.5%. It's literally just a matter of running it through a different automated system. And they count half as much for the monthly payment. Totally helps save the deal. So gift for reserves. This is so silly, guys. Because all I have to have the client do is ask a family member, can I borrow this for 30 days and then I'm just going to get it right back to you? So all files that are denied, I'll get them as a turn down. And I plug in 12 months reserves. Problem solved. That wasn't very hard. And all I had to do was convince them to get the family member on the phone to borrow the money. It just beefs up their reserves. So one of the things, I did talk about rebuttaling and appraisal, and I can't stress that to you guys enough, because if your lenders aren't doing that, get a new lender. It's that simple. It's not uncommon for, on a builder deal as an example, for them to not walk into sales communities to get the comps, right? These appraisers are a little bit lazy, and they won't do it. And so if you get these low appraisals and you pull up comps and you see that they're there, make your lender fight it. You typically, I win at least 50% of the time. Sometimes I don't, but why am I not trying, right? You have to fight. Now, and if you're trying, does it not tell the listing side you're on their team? Are they not going to work with you better if you're like, we're in this together. We're getting this closed together, right? So I just keep that in mind. So something as simple as bank statement only. I just got a beautiful $800,000 loan because they couldn't qualify with their tax returns. The person deposits $15,000 a month in their bank account. It's 20% down. Like, to me, it was almost like kindergarten. I'm like, that's like the first thing you go to. Bank statement only. But again, like, it's thinking outside the box. So a lot of times we're working with somebody who doesn't do that. They're very cut and dry. So you need to go, have you tried bank statement only? These are for self-employed clients, right? But they write everything off. And this loan, I locked at 5%. It's a good rate. Very good rate right now for bank statement only. Everybody, your clients, can skip a car payment or a house payment without it hurting their credit. So if you're an escrow and they're pinching their down together, go, hey, call your car company. Ask if you can skip a payment. You can, almost always, as long as you've made all your payments on time. And it doesn't count as a derogatory against you. They mark it as paid. But you have to call ahead of time. It doesn't work if you call after the fact. You have to call ahead of time. But again, that could be $2,000 more in their pocket. Or if you have a seller who's freaking out because they don't want to make that mortgage payment, tell them to skip it. They can totally skip it. So a lot of people don't know that. They do a down payment assistance down to 600 credit score. It's called Shanoa. If you have people who don't have great credit, have them reach out for down payment assistance. We have a 10% grant in California. it varies by county, but you can get 6.5% and make 200 grand. 200 grand in this area. That's a lot of money to get down payment assistance. So don't forget about those benefits that are out there. Cal HFA is available, and there is 3 different options that they offer. But one is a grant for 10%. They give you a grant, and the interest rate today is 5.0%. It's phenomenal. But they give you a 10% grant that can cover closing costs, down payment, absolutely everything. And so I typically quote clients, you need 1% for your earnest money deposit because you want the seller to know we're serious. So they at least need to contribute 1%. That's what I quote them. So the client can adjust their taxes coming out of their paycheck. If they're a payment-sensitive borrower, I show them by going to the Forbes, that's my favorite, IRS tax schedule. So I'm not like telling them to be risky. I pull up their income tax bracket. I show them what they are going to pay the IRS that year. I show them the benefit the house is going to make. And I say, hey, you're about to get a $7,000 tax refund at the end of the year. Do you want all that at the end of the year, or do you want to take half of that monthly? Now they're going to get $350 in their paychecks, as an example, more per month. That is the equivalent of them borrowing another $60,000 in price that they can now financially afford on a monthly basis. I get their CPA on the phone to validate everything that I'm saying so they understand I'm not just trying to sell them on something. But then I show them how they now can afford it. Does that make sense? We have to, and that is, this is financial math. And if you are an expert advising people, then you need to know this kind of stuff. Okay, I have 30 seconds. You can back defer student loans. If you have a client who is late on their student loans, you can up their credit score 100 points by showing they had a financial hardship, and that's why those lates are there, and they will remove them. 100 points in the score. You can add an 18-year-old fresh out of high school. Why? Because you can't discriminate. So their kid works at the mall, makes $1,000 a month. Guess what? Great little cosigner right there. 60 days out of high school. You can't discriminate. High school counts as employment history. Just so you know. Sure does. Get that deal done. Last but not least, because I'm over by 2 seconds, if they have absolutely no income, they can do a DSCR program with 10% down. As long as the house payment is 75%, the house payment is 125% of the going rent. No income's needed on the file down to 660 credit score. I don't even need a paycheck. All I gotta do is get rent. The rent doesn't even have to cover the mortgage. Hopefully that was helpful, you guys.